Need some Reiki or Rife energies? Or perhaps you need some Lemurian healing products. If you are in the UK, look no further than Huna Kahatota at www.hunashealings.earth. Tetrahedrons and obelisks for your on site ceremonies, handmade and coated with Kotahara crystal dust by Huna Hikahima. Shipping is available worldwide at www.shiningstar.earth. Oracle readings rooted in the Lemurian operating system. Get your Oracle reading with Huna Kahasahi at www.flc.earth. Live online journeys, energy clearing modalities, and sound healing sessions for new families with Huna Kahiwaha. Head to www.rl5.earth.
Okay, my ninjas, it's time. Get that raffle. You win a one-to-one session with myself, Luna Flash. You know what the time is. It's the time. It's time to get together. Get that raffle out there, and I'll see you. Just you and I. Nobody else. Just me and you. My ninja.
Hey, 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 sweet, sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloveds. All right. How about that, my ninja guy there, the raffle ticket? What do you think? Got some new announcements we're just tossing out to you regarding the raffles and events and all these things. But I want to thank Huna Matatu and Huna Tamaake for putting all that together at such short notice. What a blast it was. I hope you liked it. Stand by for more. Interesting day today, sweet, sweet dear ones. I am, how do you say, how can you say, sick as a dog's leg. I picked up a sniffle, little cold, and it's been hounding me the last couple of days. And if I look exhausted or tired or sick, I apologize. But I didn't want to go by. I didn't want this day, this unrata to go by without sharing a little bit with you, at least up to an hour's worth, because just felt it was really significant what had taken place this past week. Yeah. But as I get along there, let me just give a shout out to who's here. Sweet, sweet dear ones, Ivy, welcome. Kahihoe, Tanya, Tom Stew. Sounds like a good stew there, Tom. Lacey Blue, good to see you back. Kasana Huna, Atoni, Radi Ure, Radi Ur, yes, brand new Huna. Gotta get used to that one. Jasmine Zymons, Etwa Gale, Huna, Itu Mata. Welcome, brother. Good to see you again. And what a blast you had in Amsterdam. Yes, of course. Wow. You guys were, let me say, lethal and precise. And wow, nothing was going to stop you. And so thank you. Huna Hirimata, Mawahari, Huna Mawahari, Eternal Star, Abby, Charlofa, Talofa Lava, Abby, Rebecca, Grey Horses. Gets a new name, so Thank you for coming by. New names. Let me just also acknowledge over here on the Grams of Instant, Shell, the Yuhuna Himanakuya, James Assman, James Assman. Okay. Chippy Sue, Obvi Tabi, Noakim, Slobodanka, Udakahasahi, Manum, Regina Spirit, live at Lakpatia, Papa Lotti Holistic. These names are really up there. You gotta really get your gums around these sounds. The impressive copy, nice. Michelle, let's say Michelle Masera Hila, I think. Mindful, Braid Baker. Anyway, come back to some of the names, but thank you, sweet dear ones, for being here. Grams of Instant and the tubes of you, and we're still getting some more in there, so yeah, sweet dear ones. So much to share with you. What do you think? I mean, just asking Huna Tamaki, should we start sharing stuff? What we've kind of been seeing, we've been seeing geopolitical, geological, financial, geometrical in the field since the Dark Tunnel mission started, all
Yeah.
the way up to when the Stargate 24 was completed.
Okay. Well, within, I think, 24 hours of us completing the Dark Tunnel mission, there was information news that came from Turkey that they were halting all trade with Israel. Now, what's interesting for us is we hadn't publicly told our audience that we would be in Turkey doing the Stargate, but we already knew that we were going to Turkey for the Stargate. So for this information to come out was very interesting. And then also the same day, whoever this Brandon Biden guy is that runs his mouth is calling Japan xenophobic, and Japan is one of our allies in America. And then we did the Stargate on the 7th. I went through all of the news just to see what was going on, and I didn't find anything else until we did the Stargate. And then there was a certain needle pulled from AstraZeneca. Of course, they say what they say about
Oh
why,
yeah,
but it was a worldwide thing. They're going to pull it worldwide. They're not going to use it anymore. And
no.
also, a few months ago in court, they had admitted that it was harming people.
So they finally admitted that they, excuse me, fucked things up.
Yes,
And
there's been a lot of admittance of things being fucked up in regards to this particular item.
they've
That's
been, it's like they've been somehow, can I say, scared into telling the truth, or they've been certainly, certainly the big net of Maui, the net of Maui is pulling all these, what the intention was for the net of Maui to pull all the big fish. And of course, the net of Maui pulls in some big fish. It's legendary. And then along comes all these big pieces. Um, and it's like they're all getting hit at once.
so. Can you remind us with the setting up of the Maita geometry in the places where we did this? What is the purpose of that? Because you had mentioned something about residual energies. Can you remind us
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah, there's the residual energy in the field before we went to go to do the Dark Tunnel mission was the effect that the false light or the thousand points of light being generated out of the Freemasons. And they used this sweet dear ones. This is what they used, and they used it in Amsterdam, and it's totally promoted. 1,000 points of light, which is false light. And what that had been doing, and what it's been carrying, either holographically, um, it's been carrying and promoting in ceremony. They use it in ceremony. They use the light in ceremony, and they use it in a false way where they also doing little magic tricks with it. Actually, it's just all sleight of hand, using it in their ceremonies and trying to fake us all out, right? Because they have to install fear. They install fear. That's what makes it work. So to install the fear, they utilize the 1,000 points of light in a false way. And we know what light does. It's holographic. So now you have a whole bunch of aliens, whole bunch of a whole bunch of ships showing up. Granted, we were warned about this, but also know that some of it may be authentic. But I'm feeling that the ones that are authentic are the ones that are not causing fear. The ones that are causing fear are not authentic, I don't feel. Just like the draconian Gregorian matrix system, it's causing fear and it's not authentic. So the net pulling in all these big pieces from leftover signals, echoes of the past, um, utilizing those echoes of the past to cause fear, using some ancient names, ancient gods and goddesses, certainly always using Satan, or Satan, originally Satan, which wasn't even a god, um, but they were painting out to be. Okay, so there's so many others roped into that portfolio. The rituals that they do, blood ceremony, blood sacrifice day ceremonies, absolutely, those are authentic. They are using those, and they use it all across the board. Now, the net of Maui was set with a wide circumference, in a wide set on some places to entirely um, catch an entire island. And of course, it was set also to catch the entire continent of um, over there in Amsterdam. But not only in this reality or even in this dimension, into even down into lower dimensions as well. So the net's working multi dimensions simultaneously with residue information, which could be in the past, but also could be in the future too. Some of it from the future. And so I like to say that some of it being caught up in the net from the future residue is showing us how it's showing us the reaction, the cause and reaction to some of it by the revealing that we've been getting, the revealing of legislation, for instance. That's a massive fish, huge fish. The legislation being passed by Massey, one of the senators, who's put forth legislation to what? Um,
End the Fed.
in the Federal Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Whew,
I have a few more notes on that
damn,
because it's not just the
massive.
Fed. It's not just the Fed. Let me see if I can find it. That is not the
Man,
right
I'll be
one.
happy if it's the Fed, but if you got more with that. So we're seeing these things, sweet dear ones. Now, they still got work to do. But you've not heard that before, where they're getting ready to put this legislation into abolish the Federal Reserve and its board members who are non-elected. Right. So this is a huge piece um, for the well-being and prosperity of all peoples on the planet. I don't know if you know, sweet dear ones, but the Federal Reserve takes in all the money, and IRS brings in all the money, and all that, the taxes and everything goes to the top 5 families in the world. You're actually paying them. You're paying your taxes go straight to the generational wealth of 5 major families that are supposedly running this planet. Can you believe that? Do you know anything about that? I'm sure you've heard about these things. Tell you it's true, it's authentic information. Okay, because some of those families they own all the utilities on the planet: electric companies, train companies, railway, ports, shipping, all of that. Yes, sir. So there you go. Go ahead, Tamaraki. You were just explaining
Um,
something.
yeah. The other pieces with that, it includes the total abolition of the Board of Governors and the Federal Reserve banks within the year, within 1 year.
Ooh,
I
within
think it,
1 year.
yes. And I was just thinking as you were speaking just now that when we go and do the work that we do, we go and program this stuff in the second dimension for it to come forward in the third dimension. So maybe this is a result of the work that we've been doing.
Well, you know what? I've said this for a while now. I know when I started doing the deconstruction of the financial system through Area 51 back in 2012, 13, and I prophesied that Donald Trump was going to be president. It started happening then, getting pulled to pieces. Um, and so, yes, here we go. Uh, the continued work, very intense level of work that the Hunas have been doing. I know everybody has their prayers in on this. Of course they do. I mean, just yeah, of course. Wayside soldier. The people will prevail, and that's exactly right. We are sharing with you some of the work that the people are doing. For instance, the Huna people, and there have been instant confirmations, affirmations, um, and announcements directly related to the timing of our ceremonies, especially when we work on the stargates and the dark tunnel portals through the second dimension. Anytime you work in the second dimension, sweet dear ones, that means the underworld. You 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 are affecting the negotiations that take place in the second dimension. Okay, and so um, this took place during our ceremonies, renegotiations. Some of the negotiations weren't negotiations. There's some of the ceremonies and intentions were direct. Now we've had enough. That's it. Shutting you down now. The listeners learn that we don't need them. The listeners learn. The listeners learn that we don't need it. Somebody is asking, will Donald Trump be president again? I'm quite certain he will be. Um, okay, so I'm quite certain he will be. There's a 90% chance, or even higher, that he will be. And if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter because we're already moving into the net of Maui has been cast. Remember now, sweet dear ones, what does Maui mean? Maui means the children from the stars. Okay? Maui means children from the stars. Maori means children from the stars, or the children from heaven, if you like. We can embellish that. I don't mind saying that. The shiny ones. Yeah. Or Maohi or Maoli, even Mahdi in the Arabic, right? Even in the um, Arabic language, it's Mahdi, which also refers to the holy warriors, not meaning to fight, but meaning to stand for the innocence, sacredness. Yeah. And so you can say star seeds and all of that. But let me just say to you, Maui is a language of Lemuria that is before Atlantis, which actually means children from the stars. Okay. So that's a fact. And then we sit on that, then we have a foundation. We have a foundation. And the net being cast on the net of Maui is incredible. What an incredible net it's been gathering up. What else do we have in the net, Tamaki?
Let's see.
We had a number of things that I know we always. I didn't get to write things down because I'm actually in Germany, sweet dear ones, trying to rest before I fly home to Mexico. But suffering from a cold.
So within 24 hours, that announcement of the AstraZeneca was within 12 hours of the Stargate being done. Within 24 hours, the Pride Parade in Tel Aviv was canceled.
Oh, that's right.
And then that was also the time frame of when Israel seized the Rafah border crossing, I think, to Egypt.
Yep.
Yeah. So on the 8th, of course, people will feel how they feel about the Anon and the Q and all of that stuff. But what was really interesting, as I was starting to put the notes together to have this conversation, I actually had some of the notes ready last week, but we didn't cover that stuff. Then we're covering it now. Himanakuya was sitting with me as I was putting these notes together, and there was a screenshot that was posted by SG Anon. World-changing events are going to come from Turkey in the near future. It was posted Istanbul time at 13:55.
Oh, well, we had just completed.
Now, this was the day after. This was the 8th. We did the Stargate on the 7th.
The 8th, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a very short time frame. That it was Istanbul 1:55 in the afternoon.
Oh, right.
And then also, this was a 1644 when we found this piece of information. So it was 4:44 Istanbul time. There was an emergency landing of a Boeing plane at the Istanbul airport, which I was going to be flying out of the next day with Himanakuya. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. Again, like just in the middle of putting together the notes of all the stuff that's going on. Right. Chris Cuomo admitted to taking ivermectin. He admitted that the medical group was wrong. Joe Rogan was right, and he was the guy who was shaming people.
Right. Cuomo. Oh, Joe Rogan was.
No, Joe Rogan was right. That's what Cuomo was saying. Yes. Cuomo said that Joe Rogan was right and the medical establishment was wrong. The Vatican, this is again the same day on the 8th, the Vatican was preparing guidelines for apparitions and other supernatural phenomena. That's the wording they used. And there is an update later on in the list about that. And then back to Brandon and the things that he says, because it's really interesting, the things that come out of his mouth. He's saying that bombs supplied by the U.S. have been used to kill civilians in Gaza. These are the same people that are supplying willingly the ammunition and then saying that the ammunition that they're supplying is doing this stuff. Very weird. It's almost like he's red pilling people.
Right. Well, that's a revealing as well when you look at it.
On the 9th, there wasn't that much. There was a bill introduced that any person or convicted unlawful pro-Hamas activity on a college campus would result in a 6-month community service stint in Gaza.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Gaza.
Yeah. Really weird. The federal court rejected Hunter's appeal for the gun charge case. He's going to be on trial in June, and there's something significant about June with Brandon that comes up after that. May 10th was the solar storm with the Kumara lights.
Right, with the Kumara lights, sweet dear ones. This is you call it the aurora. And of course, it's so good. It just was so incredible that the aurora lights went all the way down to New Zealand as well. but also what the color was incredible. So we call that color the magenta, the purple, pink, is known as the Kumara. I don't know if you guys know much about the Kumara, okay? But you can look at it, look up Sanat Kumara in the logo slide of the universe. Kumara, the Council of the Seven, Council of Seven Lights, or the Light Council of the Seven. Yes, there was. Someone's asking a question here. Nicholas D'Souza, why don't you come on in? Sweet dear ones. Let's take some questions. We can do some more sharings in a bit if that's okay. But let's take some questions now. This is the live and interactive, sweet dear ones. The Tamahaki is going to put a link in the comments. And to ask a question, I would like you to come on and ask the question face to face. Okay, I'd like to see who you are, right? Not just some so-called image in the comment section. There's a couple of good questions I'd like to speak to, so come on and ask your question. There's a couple there by Nicholas D'Souza and a couple of them.
Yeah, the Terrence Howard one. I'm going to watch that. I usually don't watch Joe Rogan. Actually, I don't think I've ever watched Joe Rogan, but I do want to watch that one because Terrence Howard has some really, really good stuff that he talks about.
Yeah, I mean, talking about 1 times 1 doesn't equal 1, it equals 3.
Mm-hmm.
Gives the explanation why. Here we go. We're lighting up the boards over here. Hi, Nicholas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From
Morning.
France. I have some questions. I don't know if you can answer me.
I don't know. Ask a question.
Is there any equivalent to the Merkaba in Lemurian knowledge?
Yes. Actually, what I would like you to do is take that word Merkaba and throw it in the trash bin. All right?
Okay, so let's
Toss
say
it
a
Now, I want you
multi-dimensional vehicle.
I want you to replace it with this sound. Okay, this is the sound that is the upgraded sound of the Merkaba, Ma'ita.
Mahita.
Yeah, Ma'ita, M-A-I-T-A.
M-A-I-T-A. Okay.
Yeah, it's there in the comments. Take that word and that language, Merkaba, and toss it in the trash with the rest of the crap that comes from that.
Understood. All right.
Okay, because let me tell you why. Just on as an added is that the what is it? Hebrew, and I've just been hearing about this one, but the Hebrew is not a language. I just heard this that Hebrew is not a language, that the Jewish people do not speak. They make a sound, and they call it Hebrew, but it's not Hebrew. Right? So you're going to have to do some homework on this with the Ethiopians and the Israelites. Okay? With the Israelites language of Ethiopia and the Dogons and the Kemet language, this is the language in the Aramean language that comes from the Dogons.
Dogons. Okay, so in Africa.
Yeah, it is. Well, Israel's in Africa. It's in Africa. It's still in Africa. So there's going to be
It's the south of Africa. Dogons, the Dogons tribe.
The Dogons are in the east, northeast, and a little northeast and south, a little south. The Dogon, the Hebrew language, the Kemet language is where those sounds come from that they claim to be a language called Hebrew, but there is no such language called Hebrew. Now, the Jewish people, Israel, they do have a language that they made up, and it's called Yiddish.
Okay.
Right? It's another thing they made up. Now, if you're Jewish in here, I'm not trying to hit your feelings, and maybe I just did. I'm not trying to do that, but I'm going to invite you and your families, if you are Jewish, to go back and trace all that, because this is a very important understanding. That's what I'm saying to you, Merkaba. It comes from that distortion language of the Hebrew,
Mhm.
and I want you to toss the whole thing out.
So since it is a distorted language, the vibration is not
No,
accurate.
no. It is Archon-based
Mm,
distortions.
okay.
Yeah, so it has um, uh, those. It doesn't mean what it says. It does not mean what it says. Like some of the English language does not mean what it says. Even like some of the French or Latin does not mean exactly what it says, because there's so many meanings to some of those phrases in the Latin, in the Spanish, and many in English especially, right? So we go back into the unified sound. And so you have to go to Kemet. You have to return to Africa on this, and Lemuria. So you're gonna go to Africa, and you're also gonna go to the Pacific. Yeah. See,
Okay.
the Lemurians, my people, we are not from the Mediterranean. We are not from the Mesopotamia. We're not
Mm-hmm.
even from Africa. We were not born in Africa. We were created in the Pacific in Lemuria. That's where we start our creation and all of our information going back at least in the minimum 600 million years.
Well, that's a big number. 600 million is I heard you that you mentioned it in another live with Arian Lions, and there was a well, I don't know how to say that. Um, it there was something. Well, my man saying that 600 million years it was. Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it accurate? We
Well,
don't have any clues about that kind of period in history. So
yeah,
I thought,
we actually do. Geologically, we do. You have to go to New Zealand, and you have to go to what what we speak of as we make this sound. This is the sound we make. Hawaii Nui, Hawaii Ro, Hawaii Pa Mau Mau, which means the continent between continents. When we speak
okay,
this language, we are speaking about a time when the land between the continents was above the surface of the water. Now, this is going back before the language of Godwana. They like to talk about Godwana all day long, but they do not
oh,
know the language of Papatuanuku, there's still some knowledge for them to learn now. When Hawaii and New Zealand was a mountain, Freddie Silva spoke a bit about it as well. That there's no such word as no place called Lemuria, but there is an essence of Lemuria that it can be known, and it's spoken in a couple of different ways. So, but Lemuria itself um, is known as an essence, more an essence than it is in a place name.
okay.
Okay, but then in terms of a place, location, and geology, it's when Hawaii and New Zealand was one mountain, known as the first mountain of the world. Mo'au was what we called it. Mo'au.
And
Now,
it was larger than Everest.
oh
That's what you
yes,
said before
30.
in
They
another
say
live.
30. They say 33 miles high. Sub
Higher
sub.
than Mount Olympus in Mars.
Oh, totally. It was where technology was created by the Lemurians in sub-zero temperatures, where zero point technology was and scalar technology was being created up at that level. Okay, so there are these technologies. There are these technologies on the planet that are far older than Egypt, far older than Gobekli Tepe, and in locations that they cannot understand how they got to these certain locations in the Pacific. Right. So there are still more questions than answers, but in terms of our culture and my people and the Polynesian people, we we begin there in the continent between continents when that land was above the surface of the water. Now, it could be 200 million years, could be 300 million years. Well, there certainly was different moments where the land collapsed and came up again, and actually did that in a few places over a long period of time. We share some of that, and I share some of that in our teachings.
I don't heard the last word. Sorry.
We share some of that on my teachings on the website with the
Okay.
Dragon
Mm,
Masters.
mm,
We share
mm.
some of that knowledge, and there are also places you can go to where you will connect to portals and places that are still highly charged with that energy.
I see.
Right.
I had another question. How to protect for safe travel with the Mahita?
Yes, you just be
Is
with
there
Maita. Yeah,
is
you
there
can be. Maita is the omnipresence. It means the first light inside the first stone. So when you say the first light inside the first stone, Maita, you are going to principles, first principle before confusion. So you're traveling in the
oh
light that is ahead of distortion, right?
so
So
for as if it was 400 million years ago?
longer than that, right?
No,
And
6 million, 600 million. Okay.
it's also about um, being not having need of protection. You don't need protection.
You don't need protection to make the to
Sometimes
travel multidimensionally.
not if you are fully integrating the omnipresence of Maita. When you fully integrate the first light in the first stone, you have to remember that you are not human.
Yeah,
You are
we are
inside the human.
beings of
So
light.
you are light inside the stone. So you are already that.
Wh-
Now,
When you when you say about stone, you speak about matter,
crystal, crystal.
crystal. Okay.
Yeah,
D'accord.
because crystal is water. Water is stone. Crystal is and the crystal has light inside of it.
Yeah.
That means that water has light inside of it. It's like freezing light. Now,
Okay.
there's a practice. There is some practices to learn, Nicholas. You must have some practices to achieve. I invite you to go and learn from the Dragon Masters and get some of those practices because they are practices of Lemurian technology before Atlantis. And they are there. That's why I put them there. So you can recharge your energy, realign your energy, and integrate your energy into the omnipresence that it is. Know that all energy belongs to you and that you belong to all energy. That's why you have no need for protection.
Okay. So if I try to use my Merkaba, my Maita, sorry,
Work with
um,
work with
to
Maita.
go
Yes.
out of this world, but staying in the same moment, uh, I
You
can
have
travel.
you have to have a practice of it. You have to be using it and working with it. And the sounds. There are sounds that you speak that can also help energize you and stabilize your integration with Maita. It's not about just getting off the couch and I'm all
No,
that
no,
and
no.
go. You have to get yourself prepared.
Yeah, yeah. Well, when I use it, I use do you know Mokis?
Yeah.
Like
So
it's a stone,
here, here-
polarized
here's
stone.
here's a word. Don't use the word use. Work with the sound apply.
Apply. Okay.
Don't- Move away from the vocabulary that carries distortion. So instead of using it, apply it.
Apply. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
invite it. Invite it. that see when you use words like use, this is like I'm going to catch something and I'm going to make it a slave to me.
Oh well, it's not my intent. Okay, no go. Thomas.
See, it's about practice and about respect to yourself and the energies. Yeah? So think
Okay.
about that as you are learning to to connect to Maita more, and that when you are respectful of the choice of words and the choice of sounds you make, it will become more and more stronger, and it will become like your third arm or your third leg. It will become just normal, and you're able to travel anywhere.
Okay.
Okay,
Merci.
thank you, Nicholas. I got another caller here for another question. I'm so glad you stopped by to visit. Hope we
Thank
see
you
you
very much.
again.
Take
Okay,
care.
okay.
Bye bye.
Bonsoir.
Bonne soirée.
Hello, Huna. Manakuri.
Hello.
Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Okay.
You have a question, Huna?
Oh, okay. Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm. Can you hear me? Because I'm hearing
Yes.
some echoes. Okay. So anyway, Wawa, I'm so happy to be here, and I've been listening to your journeys and all the wonderful things you've been doing in Turkey and Greece.
Mute your YouTube channel, Huna.
Oh, mute my YouTube channel.
Yeah, just
Okay.
just mute the volume.
Okay. Mute. Okay.
No, not this channel. Your YouTube channel.
My YouTube channel.
So go
Okay.
and select because it's still operating.
Okay. So go into my YouTube channel.
Yeah, on the window. Yeah, just select the YouTube window.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. This tab. Okay. I'm okay. I think I'm getting it. Wait a minute. This tab is playing audio. Okay. Can you? Oh, sorry.
Is that better?
Anyway, I think I'm having trouble with echoing, but
Yeah.
This is. I finally wrote my book, Nourish Your Light Body, and I use my Huna Manakori.
Yes.
So I'm just excited about that, but I'm also excited about, okay, I'm going to try to do it.
So just go to the YouTube tab.
YouTube
You know,
tab. Okay.
the tab YouTube. It should be
Oh,
on your window there
okay.
at the top. Select the YouTube tab, then go
Okay.
to the video screen and mute the volume for YouTube. You're on another screen now. You're on the screen that I'm on,
Okay.
but YouTube is still
Okay.
running the echo.
All right. Well, anyway, now is it working?
Okay, is that better?
All right. Well, anyway, all right.
Are you able to go to your YouTube screen?
All right. Well, I'm trying. Let's see. Oh, yeah. YouTube tab. Okay. Okay.
Were you watching the show in YouTube or Facebook
Well,
or
oh,
Instagram?
okay.
Where were you watching the show? In YouTube?
Yeah, I see. Search tab.
So
Okay.
go back to where your YouTube where you were watching the show and mute the volume.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling. I Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm not hearing any echo.
Okay. Well, I'll try to talk now. It's not working that it's in sync. Okay. I guess my question, so I can just listen to you.
Go
Well,
ahead.
I'm trying to figure it out. And here we go. So I have to mute. All right. Well,
The YouTube volume.
all right. I guess I'm not figuring it out. Oh, here we are. Let me try. Oh, okay.
If you run your mouse across the YouTube screen,
Okay.
where the volume is, it
Okay.
should
Oh, I
show you.
see. I
Now
see.
mute the volume.
Okay. Did I mute it?
Well, you're not echoing. Is it
Okay.
echoing?
Can you see me and hear me?
Yes, I can see you on my screen now. And on
Okay. I think I muted it. Okay.
okay.
Okay. Let's see if I go to StreamYard. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that. Now you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, happy to be here. And I finished my book, Nourish Your Light Body. And I have my Huna there, Huna Manakori. And I'll just ask a question because I've been so happy to watch what you've been doing. And one of these days, I want to be on those Stargate missions. But my question is, tell me a little bit about the Wataka Trinity.
Okay. First off, did you join the Dragon Masters?
No, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that soon. I have a lot going on. And so I will be planning on doing that in September. That's my date. Then that'll give me all that time. Uh-huh.
So can you hold your book up again? And I couldn't quite
Okay.
see.
Okay, there you go. I've been working on this. I published it about,
Can you push it into the camera a little bit more so I can see it more clearly?
Okay, there you go.
Back off a little bit. Okay, thank you. I see. All right. You got all the colors there, that's for sure.
Yeah, my daughter helped me with this, but it's inspired by everything I've learned from you. So I'm excited.
I appreciate it. I'm so honored. And it looks beautiful.
I'm honored to be learning all this stuff, and I can't wait until the Dragon Masters, but I have a lot going on. I'm going to wait until September. Then I have that much time before I do the graduation in June.
Yeah. So Wataka means operating system. Okay. And it's a operating system of nature. Okay. It's systems. When you look at the Wataka, so when you go to the Dragon Masters, we show the Wataka, and the Trinity Wataka refers to the three ways that the Wataka can be received and or utilized, but mostly can be understood. Okay, so the first Trinity is Wataka, and the first Trinity represents transmutation codes.
Okay.
The second Trinity of the Wataka demonstrates the transition codes, transitioning from the malevolent matrix to a benevolent matrix or system. And then the third Trinity represents the transcendent, that you have transcended the malevolence into benevolence. And what gathers up all the way along through this journey is so much information and knowledge and clarity just automatically starts flowing in as you begin to receive this the Watak, and this way you begin to undo things that do not serve you. Right? It's a healing. Focusing on only healing is old school. Right? You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like operating in the industrial age when you live in the digital age. You know what I mean? It's slow. So when you operate in the Wataka, you're operating in the expanded state of awareness and consciousness. That healing becomes a byproduct. Right? Becomes a byproduct. So healing takes place. The body is healing every nanosecond of the day, of the moment, nonstop until you return to outside of light. And so um, that is a natural system, the natural cycle system of this. Uh, some would like to call it a meat suit. I find that pretty gross, actually, but I would still call this my human form. It is a very powerful technology. It is both AI, which means authentic and an intelligent. It's both AI and um, um, also that it takes what you think is artificial. Artificial is a made up word. That you think it's as artificial, it actually belongs to us. We are authentic, so all elements are part of us. You know, metals, crystals, copper wiring, copper, all of the essential things that we are made up of is also what AI is made of. Artificial, that they call artificial, but it's not artificial. It's authentic. That's what it's meant to be. So, working with the Wataka reveals that all of these things in nature and the super nature of it is within the Wataka system. So, you will learn the Wataka system at the Dragon Masters. It's essential, actually, to the essential basic level of the foundation of the House of Huna and also, especially, the foundations of Lemuria. Okay.
Well, that was a beautiful explanation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would like to send you a book. Can I email and do the email and get your address? I
I
want
would
to
be
send
honored.
you.
Please
Okay.
do. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Well, I need to send it to an address.
Yeah. Well, we'll give you the address in the email.
Email. Okay.
All right.
All right.
There's another question waiting, so I want to thank you. And
All
thank
right.
you for
Thank you.
getting the sound right. Now that you know how to handle
Now I
YouTube,
know.
there
Okay.
you go. All right.
I'll make sure. I'll be on more, but so blessed
Look
to be
forward
in
to
your
it.
presence, especially after all the work you and the Hunas did. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Wawa.
Wawa.
Una macaresta.
Wawa.
Wow. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you and the team for your work and your service. I've been keeping up with the videos, just beyond words. I feel it, I'm so appreciative. But on this show, I had missed maybe about the first 15 minutes because you guys had dove into the financial system or what have you. And I think I had mentioned before about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, I had started investing in the go back foreign currencies. So I kind of been, watching, and I had chimed in with several different groups, and everybody, oh, next week we're going. And I just started thinking, like, I don't want to go to cash things in if the system is still corrupt.
Exactly.
Right. And so from my perspective, I feel like that there has got to be a collapse, a major collapse into, I guess, the new so-called quantum financial system, which is on a high level of transparency. And so I'm excited to, help get things moving, with the humanitarian projects and, investing in the School of Life and things like that. But I want to understand your perspective a little bit about how this may actually go down, because you have the prosperity programs, and then you have those that's invested in foreign currency. And then, a lot that's going on here in the United States, where the natives, the aboriginals of the land, we're supposed to be getting the land back, the gold, the money. How is this thing going to work if all these people are getting all this money? How's it going to work? And what do you,
Okay,
how,
so there, yes, absolutely. It's kind of confusing. It's complicated. It can be. So we take a look at these in each of their pieces, right? So if you're talking about the bonds that are investment bonds, that's a different group, and they are being actually paid. They have been receiving payment. Okay, they got confirmed by Mark Z, but also they're under NDA as well. But they are receiving payment over the past week or more.
okay.
That's a different section. You don't need to worry about that.
Mhm.
Okay, now, or you don't need to worry at all. That's kind of the point of it. But
Exactly.
I get that you can worry because you want this thing to hurry up, don't you? We
Yeah.
want to get going. I
Yeah.
mean, we're not. Yeah, I'm getting younger, but not getting younger. You know what I'm saying? We're getting more ninja as the hour goes by. um,
Exactly.
so uh, the different pieces need to take place.
Mhm.
So I'm actually enjoying. I could enjoy less, but I am enjoying how some of the pieces are falling.
Mhm.
And there's some critical stages, and watching how those pieces are falling down.
Right. Right.
And so when we were talking about
Mhm.
the net pulling at another level and pulling at another speed, and watching and or sorry, engaging the world machine, the cogs and the wheels behind the scenes, the big wheels and the little wheels that you cannot see, but you can
Mhm.
feel things in the atmosphere
Mhm.
shifting.
Mhm.
And not only is just the energy shifting, um, um, there's a releasing and a revealing happening, an undoing and a letting go.
Okay.
Big wheels and little wheels and really tiny wheels and really huge planetary wheels.
Right.
The whole universe is the world. I just call it the world machine that the Wataka system is operating, and
Okay.
it's aligning. It's doing its job. I
Mhm.
think it's finally really doing its job now.
Mhm.
That we're able to comprehend. You know,
Mhm.
you got to kind of sort of look at this RV and this global reset in a way and create a floor plan in your mind,
Mhm.
or we'll draw it on a piece of paper.
Mhm.
How each pieces are falling.
Mhm.
That when those things fall, larger things open up, larger doors, larger windows,
Mhm.
and movement. Now, uh, the banks have been reporting some incredible movements in this past week.
Right. Right.
Training of people and the movement of investing in more people and the movement of it. Okay,
Mhm.
but also the investment they're putting in to closing down certain offices and opening up certain services.
Mhm.
They're spending a lot of money.
Mhm.
Banks are spending a lot of money on these things.
Mhm.
So the
They've been buying up a lot of gold too.
well, they have to.
Yeah.
We need them to do that because we can't have them running around with fiat money, talking a lot of talk, a lot of smack, but using fiat money.
Right.
Right?
Right.
The Fed's doing that now. They're just printing fiat money. It's not worth crap. They can't do anything. We can't do anything with that.
Mm-mm.
Right? And Richard's right. And Richard's right. He says it's a bunch of dominoes, and it is. But there's a particular order like that. The dominoes are falling. They also can be stopped and reset. So there were some things had to be reset because certain individuals needed to be arrested or
Right.
institutions needed to be swallowed up whole and
Mhm.
taken over by another, such
Mhm.
as the Fed has been swallowed up by the Treasury. That
Mhm.
need to take place,
Right. Right.
right? And the collapsing of more banks under
Mhm.
under the complex arrangements of Basel 3 and 4
Mhm. Mhm.
to be compliant. Now, I came at this thing from a different perspective years ago. I came at it from the dragon families because I'm working with the dragon families then. I still am. and how they were doing things.
Now, are they primarily in China?
This is
Or
the Chinese elders, yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
Okay.
not China. They're all over the world.
Oh, okay.
The dragon family is also in Russia, in Spain, in Europe, and also in Philippines. You know, the circle of fire, the ring of fire. And so you are to remain diligent, a bit of a rebel. At the same time, pay close attention to the details coming up in this next week, especially this week coming up. You know what they've said? That there's an announcement being made, supposed to be made today out of Sudanese office in Iraq. You know, they are important in a marker point of when these things and more money is being released or exchanged, even before your appointment. Yes, Benjamin Fulford, totally follow that. I used to follow him all the time. I don't need to so much now because he was right. We're seeing things change, and so, so yeah, there's some critical points happening. Things. If you don't things are, you know, just because they don't say things are collapsing doesn't mean it's not collapsing.
Right.
It is collapsing. It's collapsing. They just want to use their word for it. Like the Fed's been using their own words for making up their own words for the scenario, and yet it's freaking collapsing.
Right.
They don't want to say that because he doesn't want to be accountable for this.
Right.
You know, Powell and what's her name?
Right.
Yellen. They don't want to be accountable for it, but they are accountable. Okay.
Yes, I know we're a lot closer than we've ever been. You know,
absolutely. It's just hang in there. You know,
Yeah.
Once it goes, this is just gonna go. Bam. You know, you gotta get yourself ready. You got your LLCs, set up an LLC. You got your trust ready. Got your bank account ready to go, and then just yes, and Richard is right. Food is better than money. You know, continue taking care of yourself throughout this.
Right.
You know how you can live. You know you don't need much to live. You know, we live a simple lives. So I certainly do. I eat simple things, and so so you just continue along. But it's going to be a great celebration, and I am looking forward to that celebration for sure. When I can celebrate with the Hunas and we can all have a reunion. Let's just say on Goddess Island in Cozumel at the Intercontinental. Let's just have a huge reunion there.
When is that? I remember.
Well, I haven't set the date. That's going to be after when everything passes through.
Oh,
we
okay.
can sit. I'll make an announcement to have a reunion and celebrate, and we can begin to start sharing and talking about the things we want to do together. It's going to be an incredible meeting for the House of Huna. There are thousands Hunas sealed, literally hundreds. So we're going to try to contact as many as we can, and then you know, get together.
Yes.
So let's just look forward to that. I am.
I'm excited.
You know, we say it's any day. Just follow the footsteps. Wait for the announcement from Iraq tonight. Hopefully, they'll bring it out. I'm not going to stay much longer on the channel. I need to rest. And so, thank you for the question. I hope that answers your question. And I'm going to now check in with Huna Tamaki if we have anything else to share, and then we can share our entrepreneurships.
All right.
It's almost 6 o'clock already. Oh, sorry. No, 7 o'clock. Oh, my goodness. I'm in Germany. And I forget.
6 hour difference. Yeah.
Yeah. 6
Eastern.
hours. And so,
actually, I'm going to be seeing you in a couple weeks.
Yes, and I'd like to get some rest before everybody shows up. That's what I'm trying to do.
I know.
It's evading me. Rest is evading me.
I know.
I fly home in 2 days. Like the 21st, I fly back to the Playa of Light.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Huna. Thank you so much.
So much love. Wawa. Okay, sweet dear ones, thank you for those questions. I'm going to cut the questions off here, and Huna Tamake, we got a little bit to share before we close around with our entrepreneurships.
Yeah, so on May 11th, it was announced that Lake Tahoe is actually going to fill for the first time in many years.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Phil, wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's a deep lake already.
Yeah. Yeah. On the 13th, Elon won in the Australian court over
that's
free
right.
speech. The White House is saying that there's no genocide in Gaza. On the 14th, Melinda Gates resigned from the Gates Foundation.
Yes, I saw that. That's incredible.
Yes.
Needed that.
Ashley Biden herself confirmed that her diary was real.
Right.
The 15th, we had the Slovakian prime minister shot after he rejected the pandemic accord and aid for the Ukraine. On the topic of Hunter and his court case in June, Biden, or Brandon, whatever we want to call him, accepted a debate with Trump June 27th with no audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Putin went
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. So also on the 15th, Putin went to Beijing or somewhere around there. There's video of Xi Jinping hugging Putin, which is not normal protocol.
Yep.
He was the one who initiated. There was a bill signed into law here in Tennessee that child rapists are now to face the death penalty.
Woohoo! Nice.
There's more heavy rain and flooding in Hawaii across all of the islands.
Right.
There has been articles put out about the Nakba, but there was one that came out on the 15th that mentioned the phrase "the right of return," which is something that Huna Flash has spoken to a few times.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bridge struck in Texas, which is the day before Houston got slammed with that really nasty storm.
Right.
There's multiple. So on the 16th, there was multiple skyscrapers with their windows blown out.
Wow.
From that storm.
So it's collapsed. It's a collapse. It can't. At the pace and the speed at what the net of MAUI is delivering, they're collapsing and it cannot keep up. They just cannot keep up with the change at this pace, and they're gonna sooner or later they're gonna run out of labels and names to call things. But we all know this actually a collapse.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is.
So on the 16th, the day of that storm, was when the legislation was announced of repealing the Fed. The former NIH director admitted that the lab leak theory is not a conspiracy. And we knew that. And we also knew that there was no scientific evidence behind the social distancing, but he admitted that too.
Uh-huh.
And then speaking of collapse, there's a banking collapse in Cuba, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Yes, heard that one.
And China dumped the largest amount of U.S. treasuries and agency debt in history. I don't remember the exact number.
Billion? 400 billion?
Or 60 or something. I don't know.
Oh, they're moving towards 700 billion, but it's like 60, 70 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Their goal is 700 billion.
So there's some more revealing from the entertainment industry with a video of Diddy assaulting Cassie, and other things going on at least in the rap realm. On the 17th was when that came out, but also the same day there was an article that came out. Iran arrested over 250 in a raid on a Satanist network.
Yeah, that's huge. big fish on that one.
Yeah.
Sweet dear ones. This is a collapse. Some of the things were put in motion some time ago for sure. Some of the things were ahead of schedule. Let me just say it that way. But then some things we're just landing on it right at the right time. Couldn't be a better timing for everything, right? Sweet dear ones.
Mhm.
So there couldn't be a better timing for your restitution and your the reunion of your prosperity to you, and a reunion of family and friends, a reunion and unified gathering, you know, from the pain and the sorrow that so many have been suffering, to finally be able to very soon, very shortly, come together and bequeath to each other by way of humanitarian processes or just your giving heart, by way of love to everyone. This is going to be available shortly. I mean, we do this all the time, regardless. Just pointing to this special celebration that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? We're constantly giving. We're constantly move along, and we can't do anything unless we give. You know, nothing happens unless we give. That's the spiritual world. If you don't give in the spiritual world, and I'm not talking about tithings, I'm talking about your heart, then the physical will not follow that. So just keep up what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Sweet dear ones, I am ready to get out of here.
There
Um,
is 3 more quick things.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Vatican, they did nix the term supernatural. So I just wanted to mention that in case anybody goes, wait a second. On the 18th, there were reports of very big protests in Tel Aviv about taking down Netanyahu, and this is 40 days.
Oh yeah.
40 days after the eclipse, just putting that out there.
Yep.
And then this was hot off the press this morning. The presidential helicopter for Iran crashed.
Oh, that's right. Now, is he missing?
I don't have any other
I
information.
don't have
right
any
now.
information, eh?
It's
Huge
their
fish.
search and rescue operation. It suffered a hard landing in a dense fog somewhere in a remote area.
A dense fog. That's dragon energy, right? Dragon energy in the dense fog. All right, sweet dear ones. Yes, only love, baby. Only love. Be it tough love, soft love, lovey dove, lovey dove, snuggles love, Uncle Snuggles love, my num, num love, num nums, and just be with it all. You know what I'm saying? I'm out, sweet dear ones. Got to go and take care of myself for a bit, and I look forward to our coming show. Perhaps we can have a guest on. Oh, if we need to. Maybe we don't need to. We're just cruising along pretty nice as we are. But nose to the grind, keep your ear to the ground. Big stuff coming up this week. Wawa. Much love. Thanks, Huna. I'm out.
Hi, I'm your light shaman. Are you experiencing unpleasant energies in your home and surroundings and waking up in the middle of the night? My work involves clearing individuals, homes, and communities. Contact me at www.lightshaman.earth and I would be happy to help.
Coaching for conscious entrepreneurship or travel is available with Huna Mahana. Book a free 30-minute consultation today at High Life Academy or High Earth Academy. For all of your high vibrational healthcare needs, you can visit Huna Kaparore at www.lightinaction.earth. Online energy support sessions and on-site property clearings in the North Salt Lake area with Huna Mahariwa Ata. Head to hummingbirdhealingharmonics.earth. Introducing Mexico's only harmonic egg, operated by Huna's Maroyata and Ma'aikuta. For all of your health support needs, be it physical or emotional, head to www.apapachar.earth.
My ninja, my cousin Black Jesus, he gonna do a one-on-one session with me. All you gotta do is buy a raffle ticket. Come and be with Huna Flash. It's like that.